Welcome to another episode of Kiss My Assets.
The transparency, the openness, the communication is more than you could expect. I'm sold.
Don't let the fact that you don't know something or don't know enough about something hold you back.
I knew I wanted to invest. What better way to invest than to invest in what I already know that I love, which is real estate.
It was initially the 12% return, but it quickly turned into the people.
All right, well, welcome to another episode of Kiss My Assets. This time we're doing it over Zoom as I am traveling this week. And we have John there in his office with all of the confidential information on his wall. So it's blurred back there. So we protect everybody's privacy. But excited to get on here today and talk a bit more about Venture on Elden, which is coming to a close. So, John, if you want to kind of kick it off and tell us where we're at with Elden and where it's looking like we're going to be done with that.
Yeah. So again, I'm not afraid to talk about things we've learned, and one of the things we've learned is that I tried to push through last year was let's get working on it before we get hit with snow. And our crew got hit with snow in November, and our renovation group, ground to a stop almost on the property. And then a couple other projects came up, and now we came back in, and the guys have been going 100 miles an hour, which is great because the weather's phenomenal up there. And we delivered our first 8 units, complete 8 units this last week, and our remaining 8 units will be delivered by the end of this month. The units are beautiful. Another couple things that happened, and this is, even if we had been done earlier, we probably wouldn't have been able to get the appliances and parts we needed. We found out our cabinets, we got about a third of our cabinets delivered, and it took us a few months to get the next 2/3 delivered. So we had supply chain issues, which are probably not going to get any easier. Our appliances, same thing, and they didn't get delivery up there. We had our guys running back and forth. But the good thing is we're done. The places look amazing. We expect to be leasing very, very quickly. And I think I might have mentioned to Jamison, I mentioned to you that based on our conversations with our management company, we're going to far exceed our pro forma rents. Our pro forma rents on that property were $1,300 plus or minus. After renovation, when we originally we bought that property, rents were $850 or $900, $850, I think most of them were. And our current new rents that we're going to be moving towards are $2,100 and $2,150, so substantially higher. And I know that sounds like a big bump, but in a market that's got very tight supply constraint on units, these units have full-size washer dryers in them. They have full air conditioning in them. They are completely done up. The kitchens look beautiful. The bathrooms look beautiful. The units look as nice as anything in Phoenix we've done, which in Flagstaff is a completely different animal up there. So, and we have plenty of parking, and we're in downtown. All those things go very, very well for us. So we're excited to get it leased up, and that's going to happen pretty quickly. And our property manager, as of Friday, was all guns ho on getting the property leased up this week.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that you mentioned about a little bit of a delay was the weather up there. That's not something we deal with in Phoenix, where things are going to freeze and we have to close up shop. But up there we did, and thankfully ended up being a decent winter up there. Some snow there at the end, but we need all the snow we can get and all the water we can get. But it's been great to see the team get back on the property once the weather came back. And we've made really good progress. And for anyone who's listening, if you go to our YouTube channel and look at the Venture on Elden latest update, you can see how great these units are. So a couple things for folks who may not remember, we bought this property about a year ago, 16 units, downtown Flagstaff. It's a short walk to downtown. And as John mentioned, it's in that vicinity that is really in high demand because you're close to all the activities downtown, but you're also near a lot of the new development. It's a great property, a lot of parking. And the two things that John identified initially when we bought it were we wanted to add air conditioning. A lot of properties up there don't have air conditioning. That's what you found.
That's I'd say 95% of the properties do not have air conditioning in Flagstaff.
So, but as we are upgrading this property to a higher end tenant, those tenants are really excited to be able to have air conditioning, and we can get a premium for that, as well as adding washer and dryers in the units. There was an existing laundry room, but it's always more convenient to have that in suite washer and dryer. And so as we look at 850 when we bought the property was the cash, the revenue, the rent for each of the units. Now we're going up to over 2,000. As you said, it's a big chunk. Some of that is because the market's moved up.
Right.
Maybe 20%, because the market has the rents have moved up about 20% in Arizona roughly in the last year. Is that what you would say?
Yeah, I and the other thing is the final product is nicer than we thought.
Yeah.
We were always strive for that, but it came out so nice that you just don't have units that look that nice up there.
And as I kind of think about it, so let's say we moved up, $1,100, maybe $200 or $300 of that came from the market itself. The rest of it was the hard work of our team going in and adding these additional amenities. Typically you're paying another $150 a unit if you have a washer and dryer, probably similar if you have air conditioning. And then the amenities and finishes on this property are very nice. So, you would think paying $2,000 for a unit in Flagstaff a year ago might have seemed high. Today, that's not high at all. There's people chomping at the bit to move into these type of units up there.
Yeah, and the other thing we learned was, we pulled full permits on all the work, so everything's done permitted the right way and approved by the city. But the part we didn't expect was our move outs. We were hoping to be able to relocate tenants. So we learned in Flagstaff, because of the limited amount of inventory out there, some tenants simply wouldn't move. So when we gave them the opportunity to move out and then come back, and even give them a big bonus to leave, give them time, they still stayed to the term of their lease because they said, we just can't find anything that competes with this right now. Your point about where the rents are moving, what's going on, when they're paying $850 a month for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath unit, even though it was a dated unit, it was still a bargain in that market. And to replace that, it was going to be substantially more. So again, we learned that with a supply constrained market like Flagstaff, but as an owner, that benefits us substantially, because we can get better tenants, better rents, and better appreciation over time.
Yeah, and I get it how rents are moving up in Arizona. We all know that. And $2,000 for rent might seem high to some people. Coming from my last lease in New York, paying $4,600 for a 2-bed, 2-bath in New York, which now is probably about $5,500. $2,000 in a place like Flagstaff for a brand new unit is cheap, very affordable to a lot of folks. I won't say cheap; it's very affordable to a lot of folks, and there's a shortage of this. So we just have to put it in context. We know rents are moving up. We know cost of housing is moving up with inflation, but there's a lot of demand for these renovated units, and it's still affordable relative to a lot of areas.
Yeah, and the one part that we can't take for granted anymore are fuel costs. So it doesn't matter where our properties are. There was a point where someone would say, even in Phoenix, that I'll live further out of town and I'll commute it. But now that fuel costs are going up, and I dare say that we're going to hit some substantial heights in fuel costs, and we're seeing California fuel costs pushing $9 a gallon. That negates that whole argument. I mean, if you're gonna have to, it's going to cost you $200 to fill up a fuel tank, and you're going through that every week, you'll pay a little bit more rent and live closer to town. So on our Flagstaff Elden property, living in town and be able to walk everywhere, having great public transportation, having it's a very bicycle friendly town. It's a very walkable downtown. The choice you're going to make is, I'd rather be here than in one of the in Munns Park or Williams or one of the other surrounding cities where I can live cheaper and drive in because of the cost of gasoline and diesel fuel.
Well, and with the temperatures now in Phoenix, it sounds very nice to be up there in Flagstaff in 75 degrees in the Pines. So I think we might have some listeners that want to get in some of those units. We're getting into the hot months, so that's great. One last note: we do expect to do an open house sometime in July at the property. We're going to try to make it a fun event for anybody who wants to come up for a day, get out of the heat in Arizona, in Phoenix, come up, see the property, have some beverages, maybe some food. We're still working on the details. We look forward to opening the property up to everybody next month. And John, thanks again for joining us today.
Yeah, I'm excited. The property's doing well, and our construction crew is very happy being Flagstaff during this time of the year. So it works out really well.
That's right.